I welcome you all to my fourth lecture on signals and systems. That is for electronics and communication engineering students and electronics and computer engineering students. Today we are going to discuss continuous time unit step and unit impulse functions. The continuous time unit step function ut is defined in a manner similar to its discrete time counterpart, such that ut is equal to 0 for t less than 0 and ut is equal to 1 for t greater than 0. Mark it as equation A1. Now I have plotted unit step function with respect to t, that is ut with respect to t. Note that the unit step is discontinuous at t is equal to 0 here. And for t greater than 0, it maintains a constant level with amplitude 1. Another definition of step function, that is unit step function, is ut is equal to 1 by 2 bracket signum t plus 1. And this definition will be used in future for analysis. The continuous time unit impulse function delta t is related to the unit step function in a manner analogous to the relationship between the discrete time unit impulse and unit step functions, which we have discussed in the last lecture. It follows that the continuous time unit impulse can be thought of as the first derivative of the continuous time unit step. I repeat, it follows that the continuous time unit impulse can be thought of as the first derivative of the continuous time unit step. Therefore, delta t is equal to d by dt of ut. That is, unit impulse is equal to d by dt of unit step. So I have plotted unit impulse function in continuous time domain as shown on the screen. Now delta t is defined at t is equal to 0, that is at origin, and I have indicated it through one arrow sign with amplitude 1, like this as shown. Based on equation A2, in particular, the continuous time unit step is the running integral of the unit impulse. It means ut is equal to integration minus infinity to t delta tau d tau. Mark is as equation A3. Now we have two equations in hand. Equation A2 indicates delta t and equation A3 indicates ut. In contrast to the discrete time case, there is some formal difficulty with equation A2 as a representation of the unit impulse function. Since ut is discontinuous at t is equal to 0, look at this, ut is discontinuous at t is equal to 0. There is some formal difficulty with equation A2 as the representation of the unit impulse function. Since ut is discontinuous at t is equal to 0, and consequently is formally not differentiable. Therefore, we can consider the following approximations. Now I have plotted u with subscript uppercase delta bracket t with respect to t. Now look at this. Now I have plotted delta with subscript uppercase delta bracket t with respect to t. Look at this. Now its amplitude is 1 by delta and its width is from 0 to delta. Now delta with subscript uppercase delta bracket t is equal to d by dt of u subscript uppercase delta bracket t. Mark it as equation A4. Note that the delta with subscript uppercase delta bracket t is a short pulse of duration uppercase delta and with unit area for any value of uppercase delta, such that delta t is equal to limit uppercase delta tending to 0, delta with subscript uppercase delta bracket t. Mark it as equation A5. This means if in this graph, in this plot, this uppercase delta tends to 0, then this signal will indicate impulse function, unit impulse function, because of unit area. Using equation A3, look at equation A3, this. Using equation A3, we can show that limit uppercase delta tending to 0, u with subscript uppercase delta bracket n into uppercase delta is equal to limit uppercase delta tending to 0, summation L running from minus infinity to n, delta with subscript uppercase delta bracket L into delta bracket closed multiplied by uppercase delta. So I have represented this integration into summation form with the limit that uppercase delta tending to 0. Mark it as equation A6. Now, invoking the limit, I can represent it as un is equal to summation L running from minus infinity to n delta L. Mark it as equation A7. Now, the sampling property of the unit impulse plays an important role in signals and systems analysis. In particular, xt is non-zero only for t is equal to 0. Therefore, look at this equation B1, xt into delta t. Now, delta t is non-zero only for t is equal to 0. That is, delta t will be 1 for t is equal to 0. So I can write that xt delta t is equal to x0 delta t. That is equation B1. More generally, if we consider a unit impulse delta t minus t naught, that is at t is equal to t naught. Now this unit impulse is displaced or shifted by t naught in time, continuous time domain. Therefore, look at this here in this graph. I have indicated shifted unit impulse by t naught units on t-axis. Look at this. Now this is shifted or delayed version of unit impulse. Delta t minus t naught is delayed unit impulse signal. So now impulse is defined at t is equal to t naught. If you will put t is equal to t naught, it will be delta 0. This means the unit impulse is defined at t is equal to t naught, because now this is delayed unit impulse that is represented as delta t minus t naught. So shifting will take place from 0 origin to t naught. So this is indicated as arrow with amplitude 1. Therefore, if I will multiply xt with delta t minus t naught, now this impulse is delayed impulse and it is defined at t is equal to t naught. So the multiplication will lead to x t naught delta t minus t naught, because delta t minus t naught is 1 only at t is equal to t naught. So only that value of xt will be multiplied with delta t minus t naught, and that is xt naught. Mark it as equation B2. Now this is the waveform xt plotted as C1. Now look at this. Xt is maintaining 0 level up to t is equal to 1, and then its amplitude changes to 2 suddenly, and at t is equal to 2, its amplitude goes down to 1 minus 1, and like this. Now I have differentiated dxt by dt. I have differentiated xt, that is dxt by dt. Now this differentiation leads to set of impulses, that is one impulse is at 1, other impulse is at 2 but in the downward direction, and third impulse is at 4, t is equal to 4, that is in the upward direction with amplitude 2. So the differentiation of xt leads to 3 impulses, that is first impulse is at t is equal to 1 with amplitude 2, second impulse is at t is equal to 2 with amplitude minus 3, and third impulse is at t is equal to 4 with amplitude 2. Now this is C2. Now from C1 and C2, xt is equal to integration minus infinity to t x tau d tau However, xt is equal to integration 0 to t x tau d tau based on equation C1 and C2. Now we will discuss continuous time and discrete time systems. A system can be viewed as a process in which input signals are transformed by the system. A system can be viewed as a process in which input signals are transformed by the system or cause the system to respond in some way, resulting in other signals as outputs. So this is xt, which is input to a continuous time system, and the output is yt, and xn is input to a discrete time system, and the output will be yn. Discrete input xn will lead to discrete output yn. Here in this case, this continuous time input xt will lead to continuous time output yt. Now, the simple examples of systems. Now look at this electrical circuit. This is voltage source, this is resistance, this is current I, this is capacitor C, and voltage across capacitor is VC. Here input voltage source is Vs. So IT is current through resistor I bracket T, and this is equal to Vs bracket T minus Vc bracket T over R. Mark here the equation D1. This electrical relation we all know, but Vc bracket T is the voltage across capacitor, that is varying voltage, and I bracket T is equal to C d by dt Vc bracket T. Mark it as equation D2. So VCT, Vc bracket T is voltage across capacitor, and the current IT is, we all know that it is equal to C d by dt Vc bracket T. Now using equation D1 and D2, it can be shown that d by dt Vc bracket T is, it can be shown that d by dt Vc bracket T plus 1 by Rc Vc bracket T is equal to 1 by Rc Vs bracket T. Mark it as equation D3. This is a differential equation describing the relationship between the input Vs bracket T and the output Vc bracket T of this system. So this is a system. Here input is Vs bracket T, that is source voltage, and the output is Vc bracket T, that is voltage across the capacitor, that is output of the system. Now similarly, in another case, let d by dt V bracket T is equal to 1 by m magnitude F bracket T minus rho Vt. Here V bracket T is the velocity of automobile, which is considered to be output of system, and F bracket T is the force, that is input to the system. M is the mass of automobile, and m rho V is the resistance due to friction. Now solving equation E1 leads to dV by dt, dV bracket T by dt is equal to minus rho by m V bracket T plus F bracket T by m. Now equation E3 is the simplified version of equation E2, which states that d by dt V bracket T plus rho by m V bracket T is equal to F bracket T by m. Equation D3 and E3, look at equation D3 and equation E3. Equation D3 and E3 are both examples of first order linear differential equations of the form dy t by dt plus a by t is equal to bx bracket t, marked as equation G, where x bracket t and y bracket t are input and output signals respectively, and a and b are constants. Now, consider a simple digital simulation of differential equation E3, this, in which we resolve time into discrete intervals of length uppercase delta and approximate d by dt of v bracket t at t is equal to n into uppercase delta, that is at time t is equal to n uppercase delta by the first backward difference, that is v bracket n uppercase delta minus v bracket n minus 1 uppercase delta divided by delta, mark it as equation H1. So dVt by dt is approximated as this. In this case, if we let v bracket n is equal to v n delta and f bracket n is equal to f bracket n delta, we can obtain a discrete time order relating to the sample signals f bracket n and v bracket n. So using this concept in this equation, I have v bracket n delta minus v bracket n minus 1 delta divided by delta plus rho by m v bracket n delta is equal to 1 by m f bracket n delta, mark it as equation H2. So I have approximated this derivative, that is d by dt of v bracket t. Rearrangement of a verb equation results in Vn. I'm for simplicity of mathematics, I am representing Vn v bracket n delta as Vn and f bracket n delta as Fn. So it is for mathematical simplicity. So I can write this as Vn minus 1 over delta plus rho by m v bracket n is equal to 1 by m f bracket n, and that is v bracket n minus m by m plus rho delta v into v bracket n minus 1 is equal to delta by m plus rho delta f bracket n, mark it as h3. So I have simplified this equation. First, I have written f bracket n delta as fn and v bracket n delta as vn for convenience. And now I have solved this equation to give equation h3 as shown. This is an example of the general first order linear difference equation, that is yn plus a yn minus 1 is equal to b xn. Mark it as equation I, where xn and yn are input and output of discrete time, where xn and yn are input and output discrete time signals respectively. So yn is output of system, xn is input to the system, but xn is discrete time signal, yn is also discrete time signal, and a and b are constants. So this equation H3 clearly forms a first order linear difference equation. Now, interconnections of systems. Now I have plotted 1, 2, 3, 4 major type of interconnections. The first interconnection is series or cascade interconnection, in which input is given to the system 1 and the output of system 1 is given to the system 2 as input, and finally we receive output here. So this is cascaded interconnection. The second figure shows that input, that is a parallel interconnection. Input is given, which is same for both system 1 and system 2 in parallel, and the output of system 1 and system 2 are added here to give final output. So this is parallel interconnection. And next is series parallel interconnection. Here input is given to system 1 and same input is given to system 3. The output of system 1 is given to system 2 as input. And look at this. The output of system 2 and system 3 are added, and which is further given to a serially attached system 4. And the output of system 4 is final output. So this is serial parallel interconnection. Now fourth one is parallel interconnection. Now input is given here, and this is feedback loop. Now according to the sign, if it is positive, the output of system 2 is added to input. If it is negative sign, then output of system 2 is subtracted from input, and the resultant will be fed to system 1, and that will be processed to give final output. And the output is once more fed back to system 2 as input. Now this is feedback interconnection. Now we will discuss one example with electrical circuit. This is a simple electrical circuit. Here this is current source, and the current IT is flowing out of that. This is capacitor C, this is resistance R in parallel. The current through capacitor is I1T and current through resistor R is I2T, and output is VT. Now this is simple electrical circuit. Now I1T is equal to IT minus I2T. As they are attached in parallel, look at the circuit. It is clear that I1T is equal to IT minus I2T. So now I have plotted its block diagram representation in terms of feedback interconnection. Now look at this. I1T here is IT minus I2T. Now from where I2T is coming, that is passed through resistance. So I2T is equal to VT by R, and that is in the feedback loop as shown. Now I1T is going to be input to the capacitor, and the output VT is equal to 1 by C integration minus limited to T I1 tau d tau, and the output is VT. Now the output is fed back to this feedback block, output Vt is fed back as input to the feedback block, that is resistor. So I to t is Vt by R, and I to t will be subtracted from It to give I1t. So this is the block diagram representation in terms of feedback interconnection. And this is a brief description about how we form differential equations for the systems and how we generate difference equations for these systems by this example I have shown. And these are some of the most important interconnections of systems, that is series interconnection, parallel interconnection, series, parallel interconnection, and feedback interconnection. And this example is a wonderful example which gives us an idea that how we represent electrical circuit as block diagram representation in terms of feedback interconnection. So I think that's all for today's lecture. And these are some of the reference books. And this is the major reference book, that is Signal System by A.B. Oppenheim, by A.S. Wilsky, by S.H. Nawab, and you can consider rest of the books also. Thanks for attending this session on signals and system. See you in next lecture. Have a nice day.